recordings. Please.
Huge news, Roy. The C1D paintball team has a podcast. Yes, that's right, Dick. Wild bunch, those C1D fellas. Tune in every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for an amazing podcast.
Dad, come on.
Serious podcast. Four guys who just wanna have a good time. Three of them from Canada, one from the other side. Said this, yeah, we are gonna expand the spot. Not a serious podcast. It's not a serious podcast. They say C1D is the home of paintball. You can catch us over there or over on the Discord. Even when we're offline, we're having a good time. Not a serious podcast. It's not a serious podcast.
It is not a serious podcast. I'm Andrew, welcoming you to the C1D Paintball Podcast. And we probably aren't really a serious podcast if we only have two of the four guys out tonight. I'm one of them. I'm being joined by Mike. How you doing this evening, sir?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Everything's going smooth, so that's good.
Going smooth. Yeah, not a serious podcast. That actually is a original creation by Mike, and it's going to be part of the topic of the show. But before I say that, I got to let the boys off the hook. Jeff has a family thing tonight. And, well, Connor, he's got 3 exams this week, which means I've had to be very quiet all weekend around the house. So, yeah, he's doing that. So they got a reason not to be around, but we just, the last 2 recordings we had, I don't know when you're listening to this, but we record it on Sunday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. This would be a great segue to tell people to subscribe or like or rate the show. Remember that. But no, anyway, you know what? It's open kind of today. I was just going to go on a tangent there. What I'd planned after, that's what I was going to say. The previous two shows, we had two big guests. We had Tonka. We had
Nightmare.
I was trying to choke. I got choked up and emotional.
Filled you in there. Jumped in there.
Although the next show, I hope to get Michelangelo from, he's part of C1D. He is playing paintball in Florida as we discuss this. Well, actually, probably the day's probably done for him right now, but he had a weekend of paintball there. He's going to tell us a little bit how that went, and how he's going to talk a little bit more about speedball and what he does. Because I mean, how would you explain speedball, Mike? As far as C1D, we don't talk about because most of us don't play it, but I mean, there's still a respect for it. But how would you best describe it within the microcosm of C1D?
Well, but what I get from it is very well organized and super competitive.
I don't know if it's me, but you're lagging a bit on my side. He's frozen up.
Absolutely. Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back now. Yeah, I'm looking at the technical difficulties. There's only two of us here today.
It's not a serious podcast.
There you go. Yeah, the live was taken.
Yeah, dedication competition. I mean, when I see these guys out there, they're just absolutely killing it. But what I love, I'm kind of going off here, but what I love about Mikey and his team is they just seem to always be in good spirits, win or lose. They're just out there to have a good time, just like we do when we play woods ball, but they bring that to the speedball aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, just super competitive, just a little more fast paced than what I like to do on a daily basis of paintball. But I respect the speedball.
If I could do it, I would do it. By the way, that's my excuse on that one, young man. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's that video when we were at Capital Combat Zone and you were doing that joke where you were just running around, and I forget who was recording you, but it's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely there's a lot more running around and I'm just not so good at hiding behind little bunkers and stuff. I always got something hanging out there.
I do appreciate, I probably shouldn't take away what we're going to be talking about in a week, but I do appreciate the strategy of it. And in particular, what I really enjoy about it is how the coaches are active with that.
Oh, yeah.
And just being, look, I coached my kids in all kinds of sports for years. There were many years where I would have to drive both of them to practice the same day, and then they'd have a game the same day. And, that's my Saturday and Sunday. And 9 years different between kids. Connor's playing at 7 a.m. My daughter's that much older, so she plays like at 9-10 p.m. sometimes. Of course, I got to be behind the bench. But hey, speedball teaches a lot of good basics and mechanics and whatnot. Explore paintball. Absolutely. It is its own game thing. It's like lacrosse. There's box lacrosse, which is box lacrosse is the indoor version. Yeah. And there's standard lacrosse, which some people call field lacrosse, but that's actually real lacrosse. There's different ways to race cars. There's different ways to play paintball. So we'll do a bit of the speedball thing then.
But you can see when Mikey brings that, obviously he tones it down when he plays with us, but you can see the speed, even when he doesn't have a speedball gun with him. He could have a pump, but you can tell that he's a speedball player by the way he moves. I mean, he can hide behind a tree that's half the size of him and you can't hit him because he's just so good at it. So I was just going off of what Chris said there. Happy birthday, by the way, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris. I missed that. I didn't go on social media today because of a certain hockey game that didn't go in my favor. But otherwise,
yeah, Miranda said something about that today too. I don't follow sports, but she's like, there's everybody that's on Facebook going USA, and what's going on? I don't know. You're asking
I'm
the
just going
wrong
to
person.
say it's only a third time in Olympic history that the United States of America wins a gold. So 46 years after the Miracle on Ice, although the Miracle on Ice was actually not the finals, it was the semifinals. I think it was Finland they beat in the finals, but good for that. It was a hell of a game. Canada really, hey, you got to bury your chances. Canada did really well. Americans stuck to their game plan. It's hard to Canada did played a hell of a game. They should have had a better fate, but you know what? That's hockey. That's why you play the 60 minutes. And my team in Montreal for years, their goalie would steal them wins, and all we would say is, "Well, as long as we won." So you know what? Americans won, and yeah. So we'll just keep it at that one. All right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it anyway, so I can't defend my country.
Okay. Well, you know what is without Jeff and or Connor here, is me and you are just going to start stories and they'll just drop in the middle. We just won't tell the end. Part 2 of this episode next week. We'll have 20 minutes before talking to Mikey, where we talk about. Oh, by the way, we're just going to wrap up some open items from the last episode. We did before we get into the main topic, which is just kind of we're laying some foundation. We're laying some pipe, as Connor would have said right now, and made everybody giggle.
Jesus.
We did release the formal schedule this year for this season for C1D. There will be other stuff added to it. What those things are have yet to be determined. There's a few of them we already know that I guess, Mike, you suggested it when we were chatting during the week. Probably just maybe posting those somewhere to make sure we have enough people to gauge it. And
yeah, I also like the thought of like me and Miranda do tend to hit some in between weekends or just some big, like the Tippmann Mirabel challenge, for example, that Connor came with us and T-Hit came with us last year. So it wasn't a big group, but also I was concerned about the people who may not have even known that there was a small chunk of C1D going. So I was just suggesting that if we added these smaller special force trips to the schedule, kind of highlight them in a different color, it would let the other guys know, oh, you know, there's 4 or 5 guys going to the Tippmann Mirabel challenge. Let's turn that into 7, you know, and it'd just be a good idea. And it's so
consider
close.
it done. That kind of links into tonight's topic about creating, well, kind of loose topic. Something I always wanted to do going back. I started my schedule, and so far only 3 events in Saskatchewan. 3 beats 2.
Yeah,
It's sure better than 0. So don't worry, Chris. Maybe a trip to Manitoba. Oh, it's getting that desperate where we're actually having the Saskatchewan people meet the Manitobians. Will you be wearing your genuine Saskatchewan sealskin gloves for paintball? I hear the Saskatchewan seals. No, that's an old joke. See, I need that. Christ, I need Jeff in here. Yeah. Oh yeah. One of the things we're talking about our paintball schedule, and I'm talking about making gloves out of an animal that doesn't exist. This is what happens. I make templates for nearly every graphic I make. So I have the template to the schedule. If you look at the schedule now, I have it. It's on a horizontal, and it has 2 columns that are uneven because I knew we were going to throw other things on it. So, our schedule right now, formal opening, Break the Ice 2026. This will be the 4th Break the Ice for us.
Let's
at
just
the
go
field.
ahead and do this.
Oh, there we go. Jeez, look at that. For those of you listening on Discord, you're missing this amazing graphic, but you know what you should do? You should listen to the audio quality of this, and then you should watch it on Mike's YouTube channel. And then you'll go and double check to make sure that it's consistent on mine.
Yep.
So everybody gets a like, everybody gets a view. Maybe you lose your mind a little bit, but you'll be doing us a favor.
And then when you hop in the car, just throw it in on Spotify, you know.
There you go. So we are breaking the ice. Warzone, March 21st. At 9 a.m. We're not going down the Explorer. We're not going. Let me do the schedule. We're not going down that road, young man. Okay. See, once again, I want you to listen on Spotify. That's my main. I love Spotify, but if you watch YouTube, you get to see that cheeky remark. Our rotation is every 2 weeks, and our schedule, no surprise, rotates around D-Day. So June 6th and 7th D-Day. So therefore we go 2 weeks back. We're going to have 5 game days at Warzone before D-Day. March 21st, break the ice. I think it's the 4th time I mentioned that. We're not back 2 weeks later. It's actually 3 weeks because we don't know what the field is going to be like. Maybe if it's in really great shape, we go, even an extra one there. But we got April 11th. We got April 25th. And to be honest, Mike, I mean, it's fun for Break the Ice, but I mean, the quality of the field is never.
Yeah, the games are tough. I think it's mostly about getting out there, seeing all the guys you haven't seen all winter, hugs, fist bumps, all that good stuff. Even seeing the staff at Warzone, it's just like everyone's smiling when you walk in. You see them for the first time for the year. Everyone's excited. It's always one of my favorite things, even though I always fall or slip or trip or do face full of snow. I think I did a backflip on the last one, or a back roll into the snow. But it's
Wasn't
always
that
one of my.
planned? Wasn't that planned? And it actually looked really freaking badass.
It was kind of planned. It was one of those like, I'm falling. What do I do? Okay, let's do this and hope it works out. It looked really cool from my perspective. But yeah, it's always one of my favorites. I don't like the cold, but I've been out in it all winter this year, opposed to
It
most
is.
other winters. So I think I'm ready for it actually this year.
I am ready for winter, or just ready for paintball, or
Well,
I'm
I'm
not.
ready for the snowy paintball. Like, I'm not worried about it because I've
That'll
been
be fun.
trotting through snowbanks for the last few weeks. In
I think
people's woods.
last year I only played at Break the Ice. I played a handful of games, but I mostly went on top and filmed it like on a play-by-play kind of thing, like a screen. It was fun, but
I remember one of my favorite moments of the Break the Ice last year. It was a video that I had. I made it into a short. It was I was having a firefight with Thomas, which is
yeah, Thomas Board.
absolutely scary. We were playing Kill Confirm though, and I'm not sure. I think it was like 2 lives or something. And of course, anyone who owns a box mag for like an EMF, they know that it's nothing but trouble. Well, Nevin was sitting next to me fixing his marker, like sitting right next to me on the ground. So I'm like, I should probably give my teammate some cover while he's fixing. So I end up getting into a fight with Thomas, and obviously I'm not gonna win that one. So Thomas takes me out, and I'm like, shit. So I'm about to get down. And I look at Nevin. I'm like, wait a minute, you can just literally just tag me back in. You're sitting right there. And he just tags me in, and I just start shooting again. And we just started laughing just because it was so funny, because it was like this unlimited spawn glitch, and I got to fight Thomas with multiple lives. But to put it in a short and have it like that, and to watch us both laughing like that, it was super good. And then I sunk like 3 feet in the snow. It's really good. I can't wait to get back out there. I can't wait.
Thomas, exceptional player, really great guy, and knows a lot of history about the game. I'll tell you one thing. I always like the thrill of when you're in a one-on-one. I mean, not as if there's just you two left on the field, you and an opponent, but just the scenario where it's you and another guy in a firefight.
Yeah.
I should have said when you're in a firefight. Connor scares me, but we have that rivalry, right? I'm his dad. He should beat me. And once in a while, I actually get him. But when I'm one-on-one with Thomas, you see, Connor will talk, and sometimes he'll intimidate. Sometimes, as they say, funny, like, hey, I got an old man in my sights.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll hear him call like, hey, Michael, my dad's up here. Go on to the left and do this. Thomas says nothing.
Oh, yeah.
You pop your head out, a shot will whiz by your head, even if he has a pump. And he'll just come up with a flank. And I've caught Connor and some good players. I've had lots of firefights with you, Mike. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've had lots of firefights with you. And, there's times where you can catch the person off guard and you can flank him and do stuff like that. I once ran at Connor, and I was going around the bunker, and I would have had him, but one of his teammates got me at the last minute. So even I'm capable of doing that. I don't think I don't know how desperate I'd have to be to go against Thomas, because that's like, you just might as well go out there with my marker down and my balls hanging out saying, all
Yeah,
right, you know, just that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Such a
usually
good
run.
player.
I didn't even feel bad, and I yelled to him. I'm like, "All right, later, Thomas. Screw this." Yeah. What's interesting is I love the 1v1s, and like you said, it doesn't have to be just the last two people left, but it so happens me and my wife know it, and everyone else who plays with us knows it too. And the majority of the time, we're on the opposite team. Like, it's just, and
It's true.
we do the sticks. We do it all fair. It's not like it, you know, we want it that way or we don't want it that way. It's just the way it ends up. But we have quite a bit of 1v1 little go back and forth, me and my wife too, and there's so much fun because you want to get them, but you don't want to get them, but you want to get them, and it's like it creates a very fun scenario a lot of
Here,
different times around the field.
technical thing. Do you want to bump up our
I
images
do. I
more?
just
Yeah, okay.
noticed that. I saw you look down, and I'm like, shit.
I wanted to
It's not a
say one
serious
thing
podcast.
about, and we've talked about it before, last season in particular. You don't like it when your wife gets you on the day, and you can
No,
score. Is this a little unfair where you might get her 2 or 3 times, but if she gets you that one, your day is. You really want that bragging right, Mike? I mean, I know you're young, so you'll learn really how to deal with. You and your wife have a great relationship, a great marriage, but I'm sitting there going,
I don't know why it is, but I think slightly why it is because and it's not like she goes out there seriously, like, I'm gonna get you today because, like, I want to hurt you, but it's always like you said, you gotten me 2, 3 times, like, I'm gonna get you, or she'll come up to me after the game, like, I saw you and you didn't see me, and I took so many shots at you, and I wanted to get you so bad, like, I'm gonna get you at the end of the day. So she's constantly telling me that, but I don't say that to her. It just happens that, you know, I get her. So when she does get me, it's like, God damn it. She told me she was gonna get me, and she finally got me.
she there was 2 games left on the day, and we're at Village, and we're going to point 3. 1v1 explore, 1v1 gunfights are fun, but pulling the odd 1 versus 3 is so satisfying. I wouldn't
Or
actually. I think I've done a 1v2 and won it. 1v3, that's impressive. So there was about 2 games left in the day. And Miranda, I mean, Miranda talks. She's not a big talker, but we'll say some things. So we're walking up there, and 2 games left in the day. I'm really dragging it, being
mm,
Andrew. And Miranda's there, and we're walking up. She goes, Mike got me 3 times. I just need to get him one fucking time.
yeah.
I remember that. I just need to get him one fucking time. And I said, I'll call him out. And like, I'm sitting there thinking, well, especially in Village, you can go on a field like Market, and to some extent base, because you can call out and you can find individuals,
Yeah.
like especially on Market. But on Village, it's like, no, I mean, it sucks you in. It kind of lives up to the Vietnam Village idea,
Mhm.
even though there's really not trees. But and she ended up getting you that one, and she was so happy. And yeah.
Oh, it makes her day, that's for sure. I hear about it all the way home.
Okay, so the schedule, we do that, break the ice. Then we have what I would say are 2 just regular game days, which would be the 11th and the 25th. May 9th, we have a special event planned. Not super special because that goes later, but a fun event planned that should be good. When I'm saying fun, I'm not saying like ridiculous, not paintball kind of thing. Sometimes we have some strange ideas, but we have a fun event planned for that, paintball wise. June 20th is the weekend, May 23rd. Did I say the wrong dates there? The event is May 9th.
Nope.
Okay, May 23rd is the weekend is the rotation before D-Day. I like to just have an open game day there. Rentals come in, we play whatever. We play low impact, even if we really feel like it, goofing
Everyone's
around.
trying not to get hurt.
Yep,
So we
yep.
can, be in good shape
Now,
for this.
yeah. So 2 weeks later, it's D-Day. 2 weeks after that, we continue the tour, another regular event at Warzone, kind of getting our heads out of the clouds because D-Day does that to you for a couple weeks. I think I'm missing a date here. I am missing a date here.
Oh yeah, you're missing
Oh yeah, because I skipped the July 4th. That's okay, because I want to keep the schedule. That gives me a very good idea, by the way. I think we might be doing airsoft that weekend, with our sister club in Ottawa, and I want you there. July 11th.
Not final schedule. This is
not final. There you go. It says schedule. Doesn't say final. Not a serious schedule. July 11th is the annual pilgrimage to Lancaster Paintball.
Oh man, yes.
We all stops pulled out. We got to get as many people as possible there,
and hopefully the unveiling of the cheese hat.
The cheese hat will happen. We're gonna have a lot of drones there. That Vimy Ridge last year was a blast,
So much
and
fun.
add some extra bodies, maybe some extra shields to it. That'll be great. July 25th, right? Actually, we're after Lancaster. We have a string of 5 consecutive every second weekend trips to the home field. July 25th, regular game day at Warzone. August 8th at Warzone. At the Tire Ball Field, we'll be playing the Pokemon game, which we've talked about before and we'll talk about going forward. August 22nd, regular game day. September 5th is also at Warzone. It's a super special event.
Super special event.
Super special. We've been working on it. You're going to hear a lot about it. It's going to take a lot of planning. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then we have game day, September 19th, regular game day at Warzone. Now, I'm guesstimating the Ballin' for Boobies is October 3rd or 4th. Because it was the first weekend of October last year. So I figure, well, you know, if it's the weekend before, the weekend after, wherever they move it, if it's in the fall like that, it's no problem. Actually, even if it isn't in the fall, I would go as long as it's not on D-Day. But they're coming with us.
We'll update it as soon as it comes out to the official date. So,
yeah. One thing I am sure of is October 17th, October 30th. Regular game days at Warzone. I like 31st. Those days in the fall. The 31st, sorry. Halloween, nice.
Oh, yeah.
And the last call this year is currently scheduled for November 14th, again at Warzone. So that is the schedule as it stands right now. I've already found a boo-boo in one of them. But I'll keep that rotation. Actually, oh, you know what? I did that. I did do that because I wanted to rotate 2 weeks around Balling for Boobies. And I figured July 1st, July 4th, the two big holidays in the States and Canada, that might squish things in there.
People we'll have some fill-in days anyway. I am so pumped that there's going to be weeks that I'm going in between. And
oh, yeah.
We're doing stuff this year for sure.
I wouldn't mind going indoors before even breaking the ice, but that's another conversation. We're going to get into that. We might not get into that. It's Mike and Andrew, right? 28 minutes into this. One of the things I talked about the very first season of this podcast was just to get some, to talk to other people that make content for paintball. And we're not talking about necessarily about the biggest guys like, oh, look, we had Nightmare last week. I mean, there's look, there's him, there's Wolf, there's Barker, and there's a few other big ones too. But I mean, if you're talking Canada, the first two, I threw Barker in for the UK because, you know, we're kind of like, we still like the UK here in Canada. But I mean, those guys are big and all that, but I'm talking about all the little things. One thing I want, all the little groups, all the little memes, all the little Facebook groups, the videos, whether they're overproduced like mine, or just the basic thing is, I love doing it. And really, it's for myself. I figured it would be good to break the ice on this type. Break the ice. There we go again. Not a professional podcast. Not a serious podcast. Neither of those two.
either or, whatever you choose.
Yeah. I mean, I always had a hobby of doing video stuff and graphics and stuff like that. So it's meshing together. So I like doing the videos. One of the things I wanted to kind of start this up is other people that are thinking about doing it, or that they do it, or just curious about it, because a lot of people want to do something else for paintball, whether it be their club whether it be their field, whether they want to do like me. And it's like, or like you, Mike, your photography, when you brought your camera and started taking some excellent pictures. You take those pictures, you make them look like a card, you take a video, like, I always I always do one thing. People say, well, the videos C1D does, they don't get a lot of views. It's like, well, I don't think anybody wants to constantly see the POV from my camera, because it's either me or Connor. When Connor got hurt, the good footage was gone for the rest of the year, because you're not going to get too much good shit out of my camera. And I get that. It doesn't appeal to a lot of people. But if a video gets 30, 40 views, it's like, well, there was 12 of us there. Some other people chime in. I mean, the goal of me, why am I doing this? Just to have some fun. When we make the cards and we have the videos and we have the events and the introductions to see your names and that, we're just having fun. I'm taking that thing I like to do. It does not mean we think we are badass and serious, at the least, because I think some of our best stuff, Mike, is the funny stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the
Yeah.
shorts and all the goofy stuff that happens. I always say, I think I've mentioned it multiple times, but some of my favorite videos or stuff, media to look at lately is the in between the games. I think it's just
Yeah.
because I made so many about, gameplay and stuff. I was starting to be like, what else do I have buried in this footage? And there was one particular time which made for an amazing shot where I must have been coming out of the staging or coming out of the base field out, where I usually go and smoke my cigar, like right around the corner by the picnic
Yeah.
tables. Well, I ripped my helmet off, my mask, and I set it on that garbage can right there. I didn't even do it on purpose, didn't know my GoPro was still going, but it happened to be facing the netting where you have to walk through that,
Mm-hmm.
where you put your barrel plugs in. Well, I caught the end of the game where everyone else was coming out. And it was just everyone just walking out with their markers all tired. And some people and then I caught Rob, I think it was either Rob or Norm trying to put their barrel plug on and they couldn't get it. And they're holding up the line. And it was just like, this is actually really cool. Like I could, I was trying to expand out from what I normally look for in my footage, but you find little stuff like that and it's really cool.
Actually, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I have an action camera. The one that I get some strange angles. If anybody listening watches the videos or may have seen one with this, is I often put it at spawn and it shows the people spawning and going around and stuff. There's one I did in the fog, running by, and that introduction down that's a 30 frame per second old camera.
Mhm.
I think it's like 12 years old.
But you've been
And it's
using it in
like,
your intros and
I
you
can
make it
use
slow
it.
and gritty and it's
Yeah.
so good.
I mean,
So good.
I learned from Wolf. He's crazy because he takes his iPhone. This is an extra iPhone, by the way, which I use for paintball. And funny enough, it's the same color as the light on my. Anyway, don't worry about that. No, my iPhone here, and you take it out and you kind of put it on the ground behind the barrier, and you get this angle of view.
Mhm.
And but he would put it on his actual. He put it on a few times on his marker. That's why he's
Oh,
badass.
teasing.
But yeah, so when you mentioned like a camera at the staging area, I should do that one time.
Yeah.
Even just when the people put their barrel plugs in and out to reach it,
Mhm.
it
You
creates
get
like
some really cool shots.
absolutely. I mean, I've already got some ideas for shots I want to do using the drones and everything. You know what? I just realized the way we're talking, I use an extra Android phone for some three person stuff. Explore exactly. I think when we're talking about, literally we're going to be choreographing some stuff just for intros and that, and the drones. Honestly, to create, there's something for everybody. Ironically, we were talking about speedball before. As much as I respect it and that, and it's a rush watching it. It's one of these things I can watch it live, but I don't really watching it on TV and the videos. They don't. It's like I've seen some good games, some cool moves, but it doesn't appeal to me too much. But everything else is like bang on. By the way, I'm the same way with golf. I'd love to be able to go golfing, but I can't watch it on TV. It's just like watching paint dry. But anyway, for no, like once again, we need Jeff, we need Connor. No, I mean, I watch anything. I watch anything, and I like seeing people, even if they just strap on the mask and they're not saying anything,
Mm-hmm.
and just to see the new field, see how they play. And I like seeing people do different things. So, like, Mike, like, why don't you explain like what we did? I mean, people think, well, I have a drone, but I can't really do that. I mean, Mike, when it came to a drone and that, I mean, explain how easy that is. And, you know, I know we're going to plan and choreograph stuff, but I mean,
I just want to go off what you were saying before, real quick, before I get into that. I just think that you were just mentioning, all the different kinds of people making content and stuff, and you love it all. You know what I mean? Whether it's just someone going out there with regular footage or explaining or all the different point of views. I just think that everyone should get out there and, strap a camera to their head and because it's always positive, whether it doesn't matter what kind of videos you're making for paintball, as long as you're sharing it, showing, the sport and how good it is and stuff, that's positive. You're like every single person that sees that. Because that was when I first started making paintball videos, it was to show my friends because I hadn't met you guys yet. So it was just me and my wife. And I wanted to show people, the sport and how much fun I had. So I was like, I make these videos of these intense, firefights and all this crazy situations. So I just think that, even if you don't think you can do it, just get out there and strap a camera to your head and go have fun because it's the exposure that helps. But sorry, I was just thinking about that. The drone, what did you want to know about?
I'm just saying because people, it's like you guys use drone. It's like drones are everywhere right now. If you've got a using a drone, people think we kind of go overboard or what can you do with a drone? It's going to get hit. I mean, the creativity of it. I mean, you just flew over the field once. Remember when you flew over? We're playing on a small field. We played on tire ball, and you went to the very back of it, and we ran up. And then you went up and scrolled to the top, and then you just kind of followed the play as inevitably, the guys start on opposites and they start scrunching towards wherever they hit. And just by doing this, and I think what was kind of cool there is the field is surrounded by trees.
Yeah, it
So
made it feel
whether,
like a cool like dome
yeah,
effect. Yeah. I don't know.
and
I got my drone but way before I started playing paintball. So I had some extra money. I seen someone was selling one, or no, I went to Best Buy. It's just one of those things where you walk through and you see something that you've never, like a hobby thing that you've never gotten into, but you've seen it and it's kind of piqued your interest. So I grabbed the drone. I used it here and there. We went hiking and stuff, but ultimately, like a lot of hobbies and a lot of people who even get into drone and stuff, it just sits in the corner. And I started playing paintball, but I never even thought that I had it until we started getting into the media and I started bringing my actual camera and doing more things. And I was like, oh shit, I got a drone. I've seen some paintball drone stuff, but like, I think we can implement this into our media. You know what I mean? So I brought it one day and I know you always say that I'm great at it and stuff, but I'm not that great at it. I've wrecked so many of them, but,
I don't think you've really flown a drone unless you've destroyed one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true. But I just have fun with it, just like I do with all the other media aspects of it. And that was one of the coolest shots was the tire ball one. Some of the shots we got from D-Day and stuff. It's just the just so a lot of people like they see your first person view, your helmet, and you're running around the field and it looks very cool. Yeah, there's trucks here, there's bunkers there, but you might watch a whole 20-minute video and not even grasp what the field actually looks like in a whole because you're seeing all these different clips, maybe montages, maybe you're only on half of the field for the whole game, so you don't get to see it. But when you throw a drone in the intro, just going over the entire field like we did at D-Day and going over all the things, it immediately sucks people in to like, oh my God, this is the field from an outer perspective. And then it zooms down to the first point of view and now you already have a better idea of where this person is. I just think it adds a lot. It can add a lot to the media aspect. There's so many cool things that we've done with it already. And you with your mini drone and following and like some of the some of the videos and pictures we got last year. It's really cool. So I'm just excited to see where we're going to go with that.
Yeah, we got a pretty good project. I was discussing with you prior to the show in the green room when we were having caviar, and what they told us was good champagne, but they don't know good champagne.
This is not chilled. This is room temperature.
This is horrible. For God's sake, shave your armpits. No, we have a project that we're going to kind of do. And it kind of involves D-Day, but it's not a D-Day video per se, but just fun things we like to do. I mean, and I'm going back to that. Let's remember what Nightmare said the last episode we were here. He says he's a competitive person in that he wanted to be the biggest YouTuber he could, and he did a great job at it. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think he's right up there, him and Wolf and some others we know. But it's such a niche thing.
Yeah.
There's only so much YouTube money to go around, and paintball is just a tiny fraction of it.
Yep.
And paintball communities are so segregated to their own thing. So if you want to if you want to achieve that eventually one day, I mean, good for you, because that would if you become a YouTube guy making big time YouTube money on paintball, that means the sport's doing good. That means that I'm happy. But you have to do it because it's what you want to do, and you find something you want to do. I want to do a headshot montage, and it's like, oh well, you're probably going to need 2 cameras for that. You're going to need to actually be good, and no matter unless you're Nightmare at D-Day, you're going to have to go out 2 or 3 times at least. And oh my God, I got 8 great headshots. Oh, okay. Granted, if that makes you happy, that's cool. But do what you want for yourself. I mean, I started making music on GarageBand. Some of the stuff I wrote in 1985. And then just the background of the videos, because there's lots of free videos out there, free music, royalty free. You can even take it from somebody, either a Van Halen song or whatever you want. And well, if you get monetized, you're not going to get any royalties from it. They will. And it's like, well, it's not going to happen. Monetization. It's not going to happen. So, but I wanted to do that, and it helped my creative outlet. And I figure I make so many paintball videos and go through the footage, all the graphics and stuff like that, and added music, like something's got to go. And it's like, no, actually, I'm enhancing all of that. I'm doing something I like. And when I get tired of editing videos, then I do some graphics. When I get tired of that, I'll do some music. But what Mike did with music, okay. So Mike used, you can explain the program and everything, but I'll tell you one thing. I wrote a song about back when I said 85, 86. And I did this diddly little bullshit guitar solo to it with 4 chords, A, G, E, F, going around and around. Did it with a real band. So I got on a rock band, a garage band, and I took this and I learned how to use the actual iPad to do the notes on the guitar. It wasn't like my old guitar. I haven't changed a string in 30 years on it.
They're all rusty. And
yeah, I sent the guitar necks like in a bow right now.
Good thing you take care of your paintball gear better than your guitars.
Yeah, they're there. They're in a nice dry room, which again might be bad. So, and I did the song on GarageBand. I liked it, and Mike knows I love Pink Floyd. And Mike, obviously, when he said, can I remix some of those songs using my software? And I guess you could just tell by my shitty guitaring that I was trying to emulate, David Gilmour, totally wasted one night deciding to screw around half asleep. And when it came out, it's like, you know what? This is like this, if you would have shown the 16-year-old Andrew this, and I would have like cried.
Yeah.
And maybe people don't care because it's a paintball video, and I put that up, but I show paintball in the background. I want to capture different people doing things, doing it. So it's cool. And they say, hey man, that's me. And more importantly, to show you, just do what you want. Now tell me about this music thing, because you're a man, you're like a Renaissance man with the things. Literally, carving stone with his hands. Well, we got a Michelangelo on the team already, as we should probably call you Da Vinci.
There we go.
Yeah. Explain
Uh,
this music thing, or just your music program, and just
well,
how you kind of went to this, how you took the hobby of paintball and like mixed it in.
yeah, so I mean, I've always played music. I'll just add that in there. I've always played real music, all kinds of instruments, guitar, ukulele, piano, whatever I can get my hands on, I'll at least try once. I always, when people say they're like, uh, what is it? What's that saying? You're like a master of a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. You're like really good at a lot of stuff, but not great at anything. It
Yeah.
kind of like that. So I've always had and I've always tried to implement my music into some kind of way. But when I started with paintball videos, I was thinking like, oh, you need that montage music, that intense like army music or whatever. But eventually I got out of that. But I will add just AI in general, because this is an AI program that I'm going to be bringing up. But AI in general, I think is being absolutely utilized amazingly throughout paintball videos already, and memes and stuff. I love the stuff that's coming,
especially people that use it properly.
Yes.
And can put, I want you to take this picture and make it look cool. Anybody can do that. But when you say, I want to do this with this, or create a video of this and this, their imagination of things that they can't quite create by scratch. And that's what I like how you do. I just wanted to point that out before you went on with that.
Well, I always had an issue with like animation, and I'm not a great like drawer. I mean, I've done some things that are really cool, but as far as making things move and animate them the way I want them, AI has been such a great tool for that. So I will add that. But so I started indulging it. Obviously, you start with Chat GPT. Everyone starts with Chat GPT, just going and asking it silly questions, having conversations. I moved from that to AI image generators, to AI image to video generators, to straight video generators. And then I stumbled upon Suno, which is an AI music generator, which you can utilize it in many ways. You can just go in there not knowing anything about music and just type a simple prompt in. I want a blues song with this, and here's the lyrics. You don't even need lyrics. You can do whatever. And then you just press create, and you'll get absolute beautiful works of art with no knowledge at all, and basically nothing. So that's what I started with. I was like, oh, this is simple, So I just typed in, I want a blues song. So it just gave me this blues instrumental, and I was like, oh, that was pretty fancy. And then I seen this little lyric box, and I was like, oh, I wonder what happens when you go down here. So I typed in some goofy lyrics about, I don't even remember what the first song was. It was so dumb. But
You've become a poet with that shit. You've become a poet with that stuff.
Well, I will add, I was unemployed for 2 weeks when I stumbled upon this program. And I had so much time. I mean, Andrew, the first night I had the program, I must have pumped out 60, 70 songs. Andrew was like, hold on, I can't listen to all these.
Yeah.
I was like, I know, I'm just getting them in there.
And you're really shitty at naming them. So it's like, I love that one. It's called this. He goes, I don't know the name. It's like, now you trust me to rename them.
Yeah, but it was so good. And it's only gotten better because I'm getting better. And so Suno, you can use it simply, or you can go in, which I think it only took me about 3 days to buy a pro subscription. I was having so much fun. I was like, I need all these features. I want the studio. I want to implement my own music. I don't know how yet, but I want to. So I found all these really cool features, and almost every time I get in there, I find something new, which has evolved to some of the stuff that I've been sharing with you lately. But there's so many cool features on there that allow musicians, because it's a big thing right now that people are saying like, oh, AI is ruining the creativity of, a lot of stuff, music, art, which is very true. It can, but like you said, you have to utilize it the right way and properly. And so what I started doing was implementing recordings of my music, my original music, like me playing ukulele, or me playing piano, or me playing guitar. And then you can use AI just like a producer. Like you could be like, say it was a person that you're hiring, and be like, here's all my shit. Please clean this up. put some effects over it, layer it, do what you need to do, and I'll pay you and bring it back to me. That's basically what I did, but instead of a person, it was AI. And it came back clean, polished. You can manipulate it any which way you want. There's a studio.
You
And I
can so you
started
can change the key saying, "I like that," but,
anything,
do it in the key of, like,
BPM,
E or whatever, or
anything. And not only can you write your own lyrics, obviously, which I would much rather do, but there's of course all the lyrics. You can go in there and be like, write me a funny, because originally some of the songs I was like, write me a funny song. The prompt was, write me a funny song about the C1D paintball podcast, mention Andrew, Connor, Jeff, and Mike as the hosts. And then I kind of like filled in like, oh, you know, Andrew's the, you know, the leader, the blah, blah, blah. Connor's the son, you know, and I put some personality into each of it. And then all of a sudden it would come up with this beautiful song about how we're just goofballs and playing paintball. And it was so much fun, but it's evolved to where I'm actually making some, like, I think top
serious
quality,
music.
serious
Quality
yeah,
music.
it went from goofy to having fun to like, okay, what can I actually do with this? And I think everyone should get out there and start playing around with it, because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can challenge your creativity for instrumental battle music for the back of certain times of D-Day. It's challenging,
Easy
that one.
peasy, easy peasy.
But there you go.
I got over, I think, God, I got 50 hours of creativity, I think, in my studio, like just sitting there, just like mad scientist, mashups and stuff. I would just add real quick, the mashup section has been it was a new feature added in the last few weeks to Suno, where you can take any song that you've created or you've uploaded, not copywritten material, so it's got to be, you know, something, and then you can mash it up with something else, and you can manipulate how you want it mashed, and it's made some really cool stuff. So now
Yes, it has.
I've been adding my stuff and mashing it up with Andrew's original music and kind of making these really cool, swirly, fun music things. It's really exciting.
Well, you heard it before this episode, one of the comedy ones with that, and it's for fun. Because it is not a serious podcast. So this was a very, like, we just dipped our feet into the creative thing. I would love to talk about creative processes going forward in other podcasts. I actually got a series on the C1D website about tips I gave out, but it's not that. I would like to get, we just discuss more about it. We get some other people that maybe make it. We do, of course, have Jeff make his comments on it. Connor's had a very big impact on me on, you should do this, you should try this. Because as somebody, look, I say I'm creative. It doesn't mean I'm creative good. I just like to doesn't mean the stuff's good. You know, if it's mediocre, good, that's okay. But
you get comfortably creative, though, and sometimes you need these outer perspectives to be like, hey, why don't you push you to try to do this? Or you see something and you're like, I'm going to try that.
Did you get writer's block or boredom?
Yep. Plateau.
Connor once, I think I've eradicated it from the videos now, at least currently. It goes up and down. He's, why don't you put the name of the songs as they come on? Because he goes, you got individual songs already, videos for those. I said, yeah. I says, well, if you put it in the video, they can go watch it after they really like it. Now I realize it's probably a stupid idea for me to take it off.
Yeah. No, that was a good idea. That's a nice touch. Yeah. I want to know, I don't know where you were going with that, but I do. And again, this is like interviewing one of our special guests, maybe if this is common knowledge, but I know you've been doing this stuff for years. I know you used to do video games and the stop animation. Sorry if I don't know what it's really called.
Stop motion. Yeah. I kind of did that for a while.
But like, and I know you touched on this with the Tonka episode about how, you know, you saw his media or nightmares. And that's what kind of got you into, but like, I kind of want to know what your first few weeks of transitioning from playing paintball to actually making media was like. Well, okay. The process, you don't have to like go super in depth, but just like the process of like, you were like, you watch his videos and you're like, I want to get into this, but like, what actually happened in that. Was it easy? Was it because I know that I'm not saying you were ancient writing on stones and stuff, but the technology every year gets so much better. So even, you know, 8 years ago, the technology was terrible to try to like, get good content online. So I just kind of wanted to know what it was like then.
Well, 2017 is when I got my first action camera and I started to try that out. Now, I knew because I'd had graphic editors and worked on them since I worked on static graphic editing, let's say since 1998, with the exception of animated GIFs. I used to do those by hand. I have a program that still does it, by the way. I was always a creative person. And when the kids were born, I had the camcorders, the big camcorders, and it would allow you to digitally do things in that. And then subsequently, I started editing with the same version of the same program that's actually on my screen here if you're watching this on YouTube. So I learned how to do basic editing because it was simpler. And every time they added something, I was like, okay. But I mean, I was editing my daughter's hockey and ringette games. I was editing Connor's games. I started doing graphics for it, the scoreboard on the top when that was happening, and it was fun.
So that's the program you started with.
That's the program I started, and I've tried many other programs too.
Damn.
And
I was a free Windows Movie Maker. You remember that?
Of course. That's
what when I was like 14, I was making stupid videos where I would take a song and then just put a bunch of pictures over it. And I thought I was the coolest kid in school. Like, look what I just made, a music video.
It is cool. And you do it. But when I started making the paintball ones, it's like, well, I've done all these before just because I had this camcorder because I want to go snorkeling in Mexico. And I did. And then it's like, it came with the protective case. And it's like, I'm going to bring this out to paintball. And immediately when I went in, it was like, okay, this is cool. And it was indoors, so it was too dark. So right away I had to grade it, which I like doing. And I figured it out. And I was starting to love paintball. It wasn't hard for me to, it's a gradual transition. I mean, I'm not great at making videos, but I'm much better than I was. And like anything, you just keep doing it. You find shortcuts. And I know as we have subsequent episodes about this, and I think I mentioned on other episodes too, you just kind of you sit there the day after paintball. We play on Saturdays, Sundays. I get the C1D cup and another big coffee cup full of coffee, and I'll just go through the stuff.
Yeah.
And, you just kind of go with the flow. It's like, oh, that was really funny. Or, oh, I didn't realize that happened. Oh, that game? Yeah, I got hit early and I didn't realize it in the end. And I thought I won the game. So I'm going to have to take a funny stance on this. I just go with the flow, what I think is kind of like, but I just, as I learn different things, as new things come out, it's like, could that work for me? No. Yeah. You get templates. I went from just making action videos to, dispatches and this. So it's like, you know what? I'm tired of editing action videos with 3 camera tracks. Yeah. When I run a camera on my marker and my mask and then Connor's playing, I got to like sync
everything up. Yeah.
But I see you're able to do the same thing, Mike. If you're just not feeling up to the music that day, it's like, well, you can edit and you can just do all kinds of other things, or you can go and, oh, that part came in from my drone. You're mechanically inclined. So you go, okay, hey, you know what? I took an hour and a half, 2 hours and fixed up my drone for today.
I don't know if that was a slight nudge or just like a reminder, because that I just smoked myself into a whatever, but I thank you, because I'm going to write that down actually right now, because I need to order that part from smashing my drone at last year.
Where does the part come
from? It out at Lancaster, because I was like, oh, I'm going to get some good
shots
of the field. And the thing just started like floating sideways. And I was like, oh yeah, something's broken. So
well, I got 4 cameras. I got 4 batteries for Lancaster and for D-Day this year for the drone. And yeah. And the best, here's something else, by the way. Here's a little tip for you guys is you can always use a drone and you can be creative with it. You can tell a story that didn't even happen, over the woods, and you can stage something. Like every paintball movie ever made is just cheap. I think there's one, it's like near zero on Rotten Tomatoes, called Paintball Murder or Paintball Massacre, that I think we have to sit and watch.
Yeah.
But once again, I digress with that. Look, even the stuff Pierre does with anybody, MWR does with the 3D printing, that's content. You're doing something you like. Some people make money on it. That's cool. We're giving it around and all that. And it creates in the community. I don't have to say that. It's just anything you can give to it. He's got that, and you can give it. Not only can you grow a club, you can grow your community, your field, your community, and just do something. Look, you got to have a hobby, or you're going to go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's why I have like 30.
That's a 30. But if you tie some of them together, well, there you go.
That's the way to do it.
I tell you what, I think we broke the ice on the content, because I think in order to like go on from here is we probably have a little bit more structure. And I want to ask, actually, that's what I want to do. We're going to just, when it came to the paintball videos and you were kind enough to ask me that question. I just realized it's like rude of me if I don't, what is, before we sign off on this, on the last little section, if the next time we talk about this will be a little more structured, say the background for yours. And by the way, I like your videos because you can tell the time you put in them. You don't put out a million videos like I do, but mine are not always high production value. And even my high production value ones, at least Andrew's high production. Hello, man. I find yours always like, you can tell that it's care and time. And I don't care if you say, well, he's only done this amount of videos. It's like, yeah, but look at them. Like look at Kubrick. Look at Stanley Kubrick. You didn't make a lot of movies.
I'm up there, huh? No, I
didn't say Coppola. I said Kubrick. Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out, as you can see, like, because you go to my YouTube and you can see all my videos on one page. I don't have many, like you said. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can see even the thumbnails are terrible, and you can see that it slowly evolves, just like my content has. But I still don't think I've found what I'm looking for, which is cool, because you're not gonna keep getting the same stuff.
That's good.
So I'm constantly gonna evolve until I find out where I want to be, if it is ever something. But I got into it, like I said, to show my friends the sport, and I wanted to get other people into it. And I've always thought that having a camera or recording something that you do and being able to show it is just the coolest thing ever. You can sit there and tell somebody your fishing stories or your this, that, and the other thing, and it only gets so good. But when you can visually see that, it gets even better. But then when you take just the video and the audio, but then you add some like intense music behind it, I was like, oh, this is going to get people more engaged. And it, like I said, it just keeps evolving into whatever I feel like it. All my videos are different. The intros are different. Some days it's more based around the music that I have in it. Some days it's more based on the content, but I don't think I'm where I'm going to end up at the content thing. I have so many great ideas floating around up here.
Renaissance man. Do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. That's
well, I will add, I know you know, but I'll just add to anyone listening. I am now getting, well, you've seen the intros that I've been putting out and stuff, and having fun with the little animations and adding stuff, which is really like, it's really itching, whatever you want to call it. It's scratching an itch. But I just got into just today and spent like 6 hours and got nowheres on Unreal Engine. So I'm looking,
rabbit hole.
Yeah, an absolute rabbit hole. So I'm looking to actually implement this into some of the intros, the podcast. So everything's only going to get so much better, and I'm really excited for it. And AI is going to be a huge tool. I'm not going to use it lazily. I'm going to make sure that it's used properly and well. But yeah, I started down here and I'm up here, and I can't wait to get up here. Making content is so much fun. I love making people laugh and say that's so badass, and like showing somebody something who they don't care about. Like I've showed people at work who do not give a shit about paintball, and they didn't after the video either, but they were like, kind of jaw on the floor when they were watching it. And it wasn't
Yeah.
because of the content, it was more the way it was shown to you. Like,
Oh my God.
So
I just remember one of the things I forgot. And somebody said that recently that I heard on a podcast. But the idea, like, okay, so my grandson's turning 1 next week. In 15 years, hopefully I'm around. But if I'm gone or that, Courtney my daughter can trip across and say, this is your crazy old grandpa. This is what he did. Or even better, I go down there, totally senile by then. Oh, put on the for the old man. This is what we used to do. And it's just good like that. And for that matter, somebody who no longer who moves or hasn't played for a couple of years, and they go back and say, Andrew, I watched that video. Remember that? Like Jesse and Matisse, these two great guys when we joined the field at Warzone. I love those guys. Great players, always playing together. They hated playing against each other. And Connor and I hated when we were playing against them as a team because they were pretty freaking good. But, to just go out there and watch it and laugh about it. And just, because these are the times that make up your life. There's big events, there's marriages, there's kids, there's that. And everybody wants to, and some people get to, but I want to go to Rome. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go to Machu Picchu. I want to climb it. We don't always get to do those things. Life is about things like going out the weekend and just having a good time, as we do try to earn money, maybe to do those other things. But it's, one day it's going to be your last day out on the field and you are not going to know it. All right. So when I make a schedule, when I do all these things, it's like I pump it up. We're a club. We're going to have fun. What's going to happen? I know a lot of the guys in the club at C1D, they got lots of young kids, like young kids, babies, under 2 years old or under 10 even. And it's like, you can't, hey, who's going to, okay, there is a good chance that Trent will be at all currently 17 events next year because he goes to everything. But I mean, if you got kids in that, I mean, there can be a year where you only come out 2 or 3 times or something happens. So, we're not a serious podcast, but we like to have serious fun. And Mike and I put, and a lot of people out there and a lot of support people at C1D put a lot of work into what they do for the group as well. But, the hard work is just, I like the end product. If a few people like it, that's fine. It's my creative outlet because, that's just what it is. But as this discussion goes forward and we talk about content and videos, and it's not us giving lessons, it's us probably getting some people from the outside to do this and just talking, whether it's stories about, the first time they found out that action camera batteries are fucking horrible. They're the bane of existence. They are what a printer ink is to the $40 printer. Is what that is. But we'll sit and we'll talk about things and we'll educate each other or just laugh at stories. Here's a very nerdy thing. If you do make videos, you'll understand this. The rest of the people, you won't know. Maybe you'll go out there and learn. Mike found out what a keyframe is this week.
It was last week, Andrew.
It was last week. Oh, sorry. He's a veteran of 2 weeks.
Intro.
That's true. And I was sitting there going, yeah. By the way, they kind of semi-automated that now, depending on what you use. Yeah.
I think I'm doing the hard way. But hey, I'm challenging myself.
You're challenging
learning stuff every day.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up. We'd like to thank if you listen to this. We'd like to thank if you watch this. Maybe you watched and listened. We're on Facebook. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. We're not really that serious. We like to go. You're going to say, Mike, because you know me. Once I say the words, we got to turn it off.
I was just going to say we are pretty serious because we got our 2 guests down there and they're not cardboard cutouts or anything. So for anyone listening, we don't have Jeff and Connor as little cardboard cutouts underneath us.
No. But they'll be glued at what I think is an exceptional. I'll be listening to this tomorrow. We have this exceptional logo I made for the show. I'm starting to like, thanks to Connor, some anime. So we kind of blended that in. It's kind of like if I die and go to heaven, this is where I'll go.
They were very lively. Yes, they were.
They were very lively.
All right, Andrew.
All right. We'll be talking about creating because we like to create stuff. Life is short. Like I mentioned, you never know when the last time out on the field is. So don't be a dick when you go out there. I want to thank Nick, by the way, for shooting my drone down when I asked him last year. That's another thing about droning. I almost forgot about that story. And he got it down and he didn't do that bad a job. So I bet you if Nick listens to this, because I know last week he said he listened to the show Monday morning after it was out. But when we're talking about learning on drones, I made a note here. I mentioned when I had to have Nick, my drone stuck. Can you shoot it down? He was the only guy I trusted to like knock it down.
I never get mine stuck. Mine always just hit the tree at like 100 miles per hour and break every piece.
Well, we'll talk about the drones. Those of you who watch know I use a Neo. It's kind of got it. All drones have their pros and cons. It's got a safety pro, but the thing weighs like a stiff breeze will send it anywhere. Anyway, I just talked about the stuff that you may die and never play paintball again. You just ruined my Emmy moment.
Sorry.
Not a serious podcast, but fun. Just go out there and have fun. Create things, whether it's memories, whether it's videos, because at the end of the day, it is just a game.